the Unathletic Podcast with your hosts, Tyler Phillips and Bruce Troncoso.
Okay, I have a confession to make. Wow, what a start.
Restart that. Just say, I got a confession.
What a start to this podcast. Way to throw your pin. I have a confession to make. So we're talking about social medias. And we're talking about how often we're on the different social medias. And you were saying you're wasting time on Twitter. Well, today, instead of doing my music homework, which I actually got it done eventually.
Nice.
But shout out to my mom who might be listening to this. I got it done. Instead of doing that music homework, I was eating pizza and drinking Diet Coke. So I was getting some food and caffeine in me. And I decided, to go on and argue with people about Donovan Mitchell, because there's always going to be...
On Twitter?
There's always going to be Ben Simmons fans on Twitter, and I felt like arguing with them today. So I was doing a little bit of that. And remember how we were talking about making a fake burner account for Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
I was thinking, who really needs a burner account more than Donovan Mitchell? Because he's so conservative on Twitter. He doesn't roast anybody. And so today I created my third Twitter account that I have on my phone. It's called Goats or Spider Goat. And I just comment on Instagram or on Twitter posts about Donovan Mitchell as if it's him, and just talk about how Donovan Mitchell is the best. And I was playing around with that all day long. I was responding to basically any tweet that involves Donovan Mitchell's name, and I just responded to it. And I was having a blast. Dude, I'm probably going to delete it soon, but it was a blast.
Just make a Donovan Mitchell fan page, honestly.
There's so many of those. That's the thing, though. There's so many Donovan Mitchell fan pages. There's not enough Donovan Mitchell burner accounts. And I think he needs more of them. I think he needs people to defend him. But, yeah, I was using a lot of first-person stuff like that. You can look at my...
Also, you're pretending to be him?
Yeah, pretending to be him.
That's pretty funny.
You want to hear my bio for it? You want to read that? I was having fun with it today. I was having a blast.
This site is filled with toxic hate on me. The Spider Goat. I don't try to hide my burners like some snakes out there. Parody account, obviously.
What's my website?
ScrewBenSimmons.com. Wait, is that a real website?
No, that doesn't link.
That's a domain, dude.
That's a domain.
Buy it.
I need to buy that.
And then it says best city on earth, Utah.
Hey! Yeah, I was having a blast with it. It was so much fun.
You're not even from there. Oh, well, I guess he is. Okay.
I followed, he's there currently, so.
You have one follower. It's Unathletic Podcast.
It's the Unathletic Podcast.
And
I went on to the Unathletic Podcast page and followed my own account.
And the header is Grayson Allen in a Duke uniform following on Louisville uniform Donovan Mitchell.
It's Donovan Mitchell slapping him in the face.
That's what that is?
Yeah.
Have
you ever seen that video?
I probably have, without even realizing it was Donovan Mitchell back in the day. Because I didn't watch him at all in college.
They played it a lot during the draft when Grayson Allen got drafted.
I know, because
remember when you slapped him across the face and he's like, nah,
and Mitchell
fam.
was there.
Nah, fam, we're teammates now. I love him. And he glares over at Grayson Allen, who's sitting there like,
Huh.
Yeah. Funny how... Isn't that funny, though, when that slap happened, how Grayson Allen was considered a much better player than this random Donovan Mitchell guy from Louisville?
I don't even know how.
Crazy how that's changed. But,
So we got a huge announcement.
We have huge announcements. It's also 9:48 p.m. on a Friday night. And do you want to tell them what we did today, Bruce?
We went out to the snow.
We went out into the snow. And I'm cold. I'm exhausted.
It was worth it.
But we're getting a podcast out for you, and it's probably going to come out on Saturday?
Probably, yeah, Saturday, sometime tomorrow.
Probably. So, sorry it's a day late, but where do we go?
We went to the mall.
We went to
Burlington.
Burlington is my favorite store on planet Earth because you can buy...
Got some things on sale.
Nike Denver Broncos stuff for $15, which is appropriate.
Yeah, if you live in a city where you actually have a favorite team, go to a store like that.
Go to Burlington.
Go to like.
I found a Utah Jazz hat for $6.
You can find your team merch for really cheap.
So
it's all authentic stuff too.
I know, it's like actual Nike stuff. And then we went to Chick-fil-A, and then we walked through the snow for like a mile.
Nice.
And
it was a fun night.
My socks are still wet.
Oh, did your feet actually get wet?
My feet are actually wet.
Yeah, my feet
and they're still wet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine didn't get wet at all. I don't feel bad.
Yeah, you with your white shoes, like nothing shows up when you're walking through the snow.
It was a genius move on my part.
Okay. What a flex.
All right.
Got you.
The big announcement is... Well,
the sad thing is that you can hear that really well through the mics.
yeah, we got a lot of mics. Really sensitive mics. What's the announcement?
Wow, what's the way to build that up for absolutely
on my
nothing.
paper, I literally just have written announcement.
We're gonna be doing more with the YouTube. So if you're
That's what it
not
is.
already subscribed to our YouTube, so what we do right now is we have the podcast,
Monday,
the
Wednesday,
same audio
Friday.
basically on our iTunes, right?
iTunes,
and YouTube. And so
We're still gonna be doing that.
yeah, and we're still going to be doing that. And a lot of people, they either follow our YouTube or follow our iTunes, but we're going to be doing a lot more on YouTube. We're going to be doing like little mini podcasts, but we're going to be playing like Madden, NBA 2K, NHL 19.
NHL.
Yeah, chill.
I gotta get better at that.
We're going to be playing those games while talking over like a specific sports topic, as well as commentating on the games. We're usually like, I don't know, 4 times louder playing video games than we are on this podcast.
Totally.
So, should be fun. We're also going to do a lot. We're hopefully going to be doing some vlogs in the future, maybe some live recordings of our podcast, stuff like that. So we'll be putting a lot of that on YouTube. So if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube, go and search that up. Just the Unathletic Podcast, same as iTunes.
We're like the first thing that comes up. We're the only unathletic podcast that exists on the internet. It's insane to me.
And that's awesome.
I love it.
I came up with that name in 5 seconds.
It was like we went through 20,000 names, and you just said that, and we laughed at it, and then we're like, yeah, that could work actually.
Actually, nobody else has that name because unathletic is not technically a real word.
But I didn't realize it was not a word
But-
until afterwards.
I know. That is weird.
Because we wrote it in, and it was like red squiggly lines underneath it. I was like, this is not a word.
Everybody says unathletic though, right?
Yeah, no one. I think it's like non-athletic, but no one says.
Nobody said. I was looking up the hashtag unathletic
Because
has so many more tweets than the
you-
hashtag non-athletic.
Yeah, if you say unathletic, people actually believe
People
it's
know
a
what
word.
you're talking about.
And no one knows it's not a word.
Exactly.
So yeah, so the podcast is gonna be Tuesday, Thursday now. So only 2 episodes of the
Yes.
podcast, and then as of right now, we're gonna try to just get out one YouTube video per week, along with the
Right.
recordings of the
Yeah,
podcast.
and we'll decide on the days. Just stay tuned to our YouTube channel. We'll be putting a lot of that stuff up, and we'll get some more fun stuff on there.
excited.
And let us know what you'd like to see on our YouTube channel for sure. DM us on Instagram or Facebook. We've been talking too much about Facebook today.
So much Facebook.
So much Facebook.
Hacks.
Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah. So there's that. Now let's move into. You want to talk about Golden Knights or the Pelicans GM first?
Let's talk about the Pelicans GM first, just because I want to say I told you so about how they should have traded Anthony Davis at the trade deadline. And
In hindsight, now it looks like they
in
should.
hindsight, because now Anthony Davis gets quote unquote hurt during a game.
Yeah, that happened.
Completely leaves the building. The coach says, "I only care about the players who want to be here."
Which
and
he
the
should
GM
be
gets
saying.
yes, yeah, he didn't say anything wrong. And then the GM gets fired.
Yeah,
So it's a mess right now in New Orleans, which I predicted it to be.
because I saw the ownership is okay with. They like the coach. They like Alvin Gentry. I think I say his name or Gentry. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're okay with coaching. Yeah, they just didn't like the GM. I think they felt like he dropped the ball.
Because you
had the best- he
finally
had a great
get a
deal.
good offer. Like, you got a great offer. And, like, if you're a Lakers fan, this is, of course, the greatest news ever for you. Because you hate this man. What's his name again? Why am I blanking out on his name?
Who? Magic? Anthony Davis?
No, the Pelicans GM.
Oh, Dell Dems? Something
Del
weird like
Dem-
that.
Yeah. Anyway, like, he's the most hated man in LA right now. So to see him fired, if you're a Lakers fan, You have to be happy. Right?
Well, it's after trade deadline, so
I know, but it's like a little bit of.
But one thing that's interesting to me is like, yeah, they fired him, but I feel like when it comes to moving a guy like Anthony Davis, you're obviously your franchise player. Ownership didn't have any say. I feel like they were in his ear, like, oh yeah, dude, you should keep him. I feel like he was getting orders from ownership, some type of like feeling from them. Because it's like, this
you would
is your...
think so, but apparently not. Because apparently the whole plan was to move him at the deadline, and he's not. Unless this isn't about not moving him at the deadline. It's
about
post Anthony Davis. Like,
they don't like how they're using him now.
I guess.
And letting him just leave.
But what, you're just not gonna play him?
I just think it's one of the cases to where, as an owner, it's like, I have a really great idea. We're gonna keep him, and then that didn't work out, so I'm mad at the GM now. I'm gonna fire him. Yeah, that's how I kind of see it.
Yeah, it's a damage control to fans because fans aren't happy, right? I don't know. I don't
think they're happy at all.
I haven't heard from a lot of Pelicans fans on Twitter, but like.
But I know, like, just watching and like reading, like watching like the sports shows and like reading different articles. People just a week ago were applauding the GM for the Pelicans. Just like, wow, good for him to stand his ground. Even we were like, yeah, good for him not to get bullied around by Magic.
But I said it might turn out badly.
And now a week later, everything changes because Anthony Davis got injured and left the building.
Quote unquote injured. Yeah.
Well, he says injured, but he's still playing the All-Star game this weekend.
Exactly. So quote unquote.
I think it's just one of those things to where he's like, oh, I'm kind of hurt. All right, guys, see ya. Because like, I don't want to get injured now.
Yeah, there's.
I'm Anthony Davis.
Man, I just feel like. Yeah, it feels like a damage control thing with the owner, because he doesn't want fingers pointed back to him. So he makes it feel like he's making it look like it was his plan all along to trade Davis, and now that that's not happening, he's getting a scapegoat for the whole thing. Because like you said,
it makes sense.
There's no way that GM just goes into it without getting like
any say from ownership,
any advice, yeah. Or like
or some higher up or something.
Even if the owner says like,
this is the franchise player,
do what you want to do. Like if the owner says and even if the owner says like do what you want to do, well the GM did what he wanted to do.
Even then, like the owner can say that, but as a GM, he probably thought, I don't think the owner wants me to get rid of him, because I'm sure you just want to please the owner. He's your boss, obviously, or she, or I don't know who it is. Like you just want to please the boss.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this person seems like they want to keep Anthony Davis, so I'm going to keep him and see what happens. I don't know.
Well, and he doesn't make this move if he's not confident that they will get something better in the offseason.
Yeah, they probably also thought, there's more deals coming in the offseason.
So, but he did that, like, looking out for... Like, he's not doing it to destroy the team. He's looking out for the betterment of the team.
I don't think it was a bad move on his part, but... You know
it's
what?
Not,
it's life.
I get, like, you just want to wait until the end of the year, but can you make it to the end of the year without this man hurting your franchise even more? Like, because he knows he's gone.
Maybe they don't like...
So he's going to try and tear... Because he knows he's not a Pelican next year, so what does he care if he tears apart that entire organization?
That's true. But with the GM, maybe ownership was unhappy with how he handled the trade talks, because the reports were he wasn't talking at all. Like, he wasn't even calling Magic Johnson or calling the Lakers and giving them counter offers. He was just kind of having them offer to him and just be like, yeah, I don't like it. And then just like wouldn't have any discussion whatsoever. I think maybe that kind of almost like it kind of embarrassed the franchise. Maybe it's like, wow, we have a GM who's not even willing to negotiate whatsoever. He's just kind of like, we don't like that deal, so we're not going to call you up at all.
I thought it was weird at the time. I thought, like, I got it. It was one of those weird things where, like, I got it, but at the same time I didn't get it. I got, like, you're wanting to, like, be the big dog in the fight with Magic Johnson. You want to pretend like, hey, I got all the leverage here, Magic. You have zero leverage. It doesn't matter how much you tamper. You have zero leverage. And so he's kind of playing that game by saying, I'm not even going to talk to you. But... like, at some point, you see the offers coming in. Like, they were big offers. And I don't know.
And maybe another thing is that report that came out that they wanted, like, 6 first-rounders. I'm sure, like, the ownership's thinking, like, what in the world? And that's when the Lakers kind of backed off. Like, you're not getting that. And then the kind of trade talks kind of died at that point. Is like what the reports were saying. Like, after they asked for 6 first-rounders, the Lakers were like, yeah, we're done talking. well, we'll talk to you in the offseason. And because I think maybe the ownership was like, okay, we'll get rid of him, but we need the right deal. And he took that as the right deal as 6 first-rounders, and he scared him off. Like,
Is
I
the
don't know.
Is the right deal getting players that fit into your organization, or is the best deal the biggest package with the most pieces? What are they considering as to being the best deal?
I don't know. Well, as the owner, it doesn't matter what you thought. You just fire the guy.
I'm just saying, though, Kyle Kuzma was part of that package, and Kyle Kuzma dropped 35 points in the Rising Stars game tonight and got MVP. So
Kyle Kuzma's a real player in this league, dude.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I get, like, you're skeptical.
He's the best Laker right now.
You're
after
skeptical
LeBron.
about Lonzo Ball coming into your organization. You're skeptical about Brandon Ingram. You got Kyle Kuzma,
Kuzma's
man.
a real star.
Kuzma's a real star.
When they say rising stars, he's actually a rising star.
You put him with Drew Holiday? Really? You turned that down?
Yeah. And they have Randall there, so like they were teammates last year, and Lonzo plays well. I think he just needs to get out of LA, away from like big baller brand nonsense and stuff, and maybe he would play better without all the distractions.
So the Pelicans brought up assistant GM. I don't know his name, but he's an interim GM for now. We'll see if that lasts. I don't know what the evaluation is going to involve. If it's going to, because you'd assume they're going to look for a new GM over the offseason, but I wonder if they let this new GM do the trades over the offseason and see what he can do with these trades.
Let him tamper now, see what deal he can get for the Anthony Davis.
How good are you at tampering?
Once July comes.
I'm real good.
It's like I did
You're
all
hired.
the tamper. Exactly.
I want to say this too, just to end off the Anthony Davis talks. They asked Donovan Mitchell at the Rising Stars Challenge today what he thought about the whole Anthony Davis situation, which is always going to bring up a red flag answer, no matter what player you ask. And
what did he say?
Donovan Mitchell said essentially,
Should have gone to the Jazz.
a player should be able to go wherever he wants, and if he's not happy with the market, all the power to him, which made every Jazz fan scream.
Oh, because I could be in.
That wasn't the earthquakes today. Weren't the scariest part of the day in Utah. Donovan Mitchell saying if a player doesn't like the market, he should have the power to go where he wants.
That's scary. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is kind of scary.
It's scary. Just He's trying to say something. It's an awkward question because you're asking about another player, which he doesn't know the whole situation going on with Anthony Davis.
He's being vague.
He's trying to be vague, and he's trying to just.
He's not trying to get fined.
A player agrees with a player. However, I will say this. I get it in sports if you're not happy with the team that drafted you, because sports is like the one profession in the world where you don't get to pick where you go to work.
Yeah,
like they
you
draft
don't, like, interview.
you.
Yeah, you just get told.
And now you're
there.
forced to sign a contract there. So, however, Anthony Davis is different.
He did sign an extension,
because he
though.
willingly signed an extension
Yeah,
in New Orleans.
exactly.
You gotta, like, at least however long you're there, you sign that extension. You agree to be there through this year.
Yeah, you could have been a free
I
agent.
get it if you don't like it there, but, like, just play out the rest of the extension. And, like, if you signed 5 years there, well, you're gonna have to get settled in for 5 years.
I think he's just thinking like, these are my prime years, and I'm wasting them. I'm not going to win anything in New Orleans.
Then why did he sign a contract through his prime years?
Maybe they really sold him. Hey, they got DeMarcus Cousins, and they're like, who knows what happens after that?
Is that part of Anthony Davis' fault that DeMarcus Cousins didn't stay?
He got injured, which didn't help. I think if Cousins was healthy, they would have offered him like the max money he wanted, and then who knows. But at the same time, every team would have offered him max money, and then he probably would have left New Orleans.
Yeah, I don't know. It just it's same thing with Antonio Brown, which there was Antonio Brown news this week, but it wasn't really big.
Well, we kind of talked about it last time.
Yeah, he met with the GM of the Steelers today. He originally wasn't going to meet with the GM, and then he realized that's kind of a dick move. So
He's just like, yeah.
He's like, I got to be a man and actually face this guy.
I'll tell him I hate him to his face.
To his face.
He's like, I say it all over Twitter.
Yeah. What did that conversation consist of? Absolutely nothing.
Antonio, we hate you. Well, I hate you too, bro.
Okay, then we're trading you. Okay, then.
It's like, where do you want to go? I want to go to
Don't
Indianapolis.
ask him that. That's where you fall into a trap.
And he's like, Antonio, I'm sending you to the opposite where you want to go.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you want to go to the Colts? Here's the.
Yeah, we'll send you to the Raiders. I heard they're playing in London. Good luck, Antonio.
No, they're gonna split time between Phoenix and Birmingham, Alabama.
Exactly.
Ah.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights.
Hockey
hockey.
topic. Oh, I love talking hockey right now.
I love talking hockey.
Love talking
That's
hockey.
my favorite sport.
Hockey.
Where does that rank on your sport list?
At the bottom.
But we're talking Golden Knights.
I'm enjoying it now.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it now. I would say we're gonna talk about Golden Knights, but it was Valentine's Day this week, and the Carter Hart stuff was great. You know, you're like, you have my heart.
Why do we have to bring up Carter Hart on every damn episode?
Because he's my
Everyone.
He's my favorite player.
Okay.
He's my favorite.
We got it.
Okay. Golden Knights.
Nobody even knows what Valentine you're referencing to. What Twitter page was that on?
Dude, it was like on every single Twitter page. I mean, NHL posted it, but
that's because you follow every Philly page. It was on.
Well, the actually official NHL page posted
Oh.
it, and that Tavares one I showed you or talked about, and then obviously all the Philly pages were posting it, and all Philly fans were. It's too easy.
It's a really
NHL,
easy name.
Just hockey fans are doing it too all over the league because, like you said, I texted you, was like, is he really that marketable, or is his name just Hart on Valentine's Day? And he's like the only Hart.
The second one.
I just can't believe he's like the only Hart in the league. That's just funny to me. Relevant
there's
Hart.
the Hart Trophy.
Wow.
I don't know if there's another.
It's
Hart
named
in the
after
league.
Carter Hart.
I don't know if there's another Hart. There's a lot of unique names.
There's too many unique names. So let's talk about the Golden Knights.
Oh, let's talk about the Golden Knights, man.
They last night, they lost to Toronto. They
BS calls, by the way.
Yeah, I heard there was 6 penalties.
The Golden Knights.
The coach, what's his name? Gerald
Gallant.
He said he was okay with 3 of them. That's what he said last night. He's like, 3 of them I understood. The other 3 was BS.
Fleury's tired. Okay. You're going to get into some topics. I just want to say...
Yeah, let's tell me what you think is going on.
Subban... Well, let's start with goaltending, and I'll just say something about goaltending.
Because hold on, it's their 5th home loss in a row.
Okay, let me
games.
Let me start by saying this: they're fine. It's midseason hockey. A lot of the best teams in the NHL right now, a lot of the teams who started out really fast, aren't winning as many games as they did to start the season. A lot of them are on big losing streaks. Calgary is not playing as well after being one of the hottest teams to start the season. Tampa's not even playing that well. Vegas beat Tampa for one of the games, the best team in the NHL. So it's just midseason hockey. It happens every single year. And people are getting a little bit too worked up about this, especially Golden Knights fans, because we're only in our 2nd season. We were supposed to be at the bottom of the league next season. I know we won the division last year, but 3rd in the division is fine. I know they keep dropping, but they're fine. The West is weak. They have to really do something bad to miss the playoffs. So that's what I'll start by saying, and then I'll start addressing some issues. Because there are some issues, but they're fine.
Okay. So you want to talk about the goaltending? I know you heard that.
Yeah. So we'll
Fleury's,
start with.
You said Fleury's tired.
We'll start with goaltending. Fleury
started
the year.
Huh?
He has the most wins in the NHL right now because he's the only one that plays every single game. Because Subban's been playing well in the 4 games, I want to say, he's come in all season. I think we're up to game 50-something, and he's played 4 games.
Why aren't we playing Subban? Why do you think?
I don't know. He's been playing well. His first start of the season, he played really, really bad. Gave up, 4 or 5 goals. Didn't really play that well. Gave up a lot of easy ones. And so Gallant pulled him, and he stayed pulled. Mostly because Fleury was really, really hot.
So it was like shutouts every night.
Fleury started a bit slow, and then the entire team started slow in front of him. And then Fleury especially really started to pick it up. I think he still leads the league in shutouts just because he has so many. He got so many in such a short span. There was really no reason to put Subban in, especially because you don't want to break a goaltender's momentum like that. And now it's February. We're near trade deadline, which doesn't make any of the players comfortable anywhere in the league, especially when you're on a contending team, because you're afraid you're going to be traded off of the contending team to a non-contending team.
Yeah.
And so that's really scary
suck.
to a lot of bottom 6 forwards. So goaltending goaltending has been an issue just because Fleury's really tired. I think it was weird. I thought they really should have started Subban last night against the Maple Leafs. I'm sure he's going to start tomorrow against Nashville. At least he better.
Let's hope.
It's because, so last year, of course, we had all those goalie injuries. But it was weird because it sort of helped the team because Fleury didn't play basically the entire first half of the season.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was very, very healthy for the second half and he was a lot more rested than a lot of other goaltenders going into the playoffs, which really helped throughout the playoffs. And this year is not really the same luxury. So and he's a 34-year-old goaltender.
He's old.
He's getting up there.
He's no Carter Hart age.
And, which he signed to another 3 years after that, so he better figure it out. I don't think there's a lot of issue there. I don't think we need to trade for a better backup. I think Subban's doing just fine. I think just because of how tired Fleury is, and I know you want to still stay in the playoff race, but I think you just got to trust Subban a little bit more. He's been playing well when he's been in there the last couple of games.
Trust Subban.
I think there just needs to be more trust.
And tomorrow, if he starts tomorrow, he'll be playing against his brother, unless PK's injured.
I don't know. Actually, I think
because they're playing Nashville, yeah. So Subban starts, he's gonna be playing against his brother.
Yeah,
that's how that should work. Because there's a Subban.
Yeah. So if Malcolm starts, it should be PK against Malcolm again.
Nice.
Which they always love putting Malcolm against his brother because he always plays his best against Nashville. But I just got a text from Connor Berriesa, by the way, that said, "Hey Tyler, is the movie invite only?"
What movie?
I don't know.
Who's that? Who's even?
He's an old friend from St. George from my cross country team, and I haven't talked to him in forever.
Maybe he meant to text that to a different Tyler in his phone.
I think so.
That had to be it.
That has to be it. Okay, sorry. That was just weird. That caught me off guard by a ton.
Well, the article I read about this whole thing, highlighting the Knights' issues, the number one thing they said, this is how they started. The Knights don't feature a roster of stars. They're not rolling out lines filled with the league's best players. They have 2 second lines and a third severely lacking much beyond Cody Eakin and a fourth that is serviceable.
Okay,
Thoughts?
Let me start. That's incorrect. First of all, they're valuing our first line as if the players are from 2 years ago. Our first line consists of a 40-goal scorer, a 20-goal scorer, and a 25-goal scorer. And so that 25-goal scorer is pushing 30 this year. So actually, no, that's a first line. They just aren't getting the same chances as last year. And part of that is because the other lines haven't been picking up as much, I want to say. The problem with the second line is that Stasny and Tuck play really well together. But they've tried Peary on that line and they tried Pacioretty on that line. And those guys can't forecheck. They can't backcheck. They can't play defense. They're only good if they have a chance on their stick wide open in front of the net.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Well, because the article does, right after they talk about how Alex Tuck has gone now 7 straight games without registering a point. And now what counts as a point? Tell me that.
Assist or a goal.
Assist or a goal, okay.
So, and that goes again just because he doesn't have part of his assist totals that were getting so high early in the season was because Peary was scoring at an unreal rate.
Yeah, I know. Twitter was loving it.
And
Golden Knights Twitter was loving Peary.
Mostly because Pacioretty was out of the lineup. He was getting Pacioretty the puck really well in the beginning of the season, or like near the middle of the season, but Pacioretty's a really streaky player. And he'll disappear at times. And Tuck does a really good job on making the rest of his line mates roll. Big body, hard to body off the puck, can dump and chase really with the best of them. He's a really fast guy for his size. I just think, but you still need some effort coming in, especially from your other wing, and I don't feel like that's happening. And Stasny's been cold, which, that I think that's just a bit of fatigue middle of the season. But Stasny's been cold. I think if he picks it up, that line will roll a lot better. I think I get trading for a forward, especially for the second line, because it would be nice to put somebody else in there, like a Zuccarello or a Kevin Hayes maybe from New York, and put them in there with Stastny and Tuck, just see if you can get the lines rolling a little bit, and then maybe scratch Peary or Pacioretty.
Whoa.
And as for the third line, they've actually been our best line during this losing streak, so that's quite the take. Eakin's actually been our best player during these games. He's been most consistent. He's been really good on the penalty kill. He's been checking really well. Lindbergh has been getting chances. He just, because of Eakin, he just hasn't buried him because he's not a very good player. Carpenter's been underwhelming, and Zaikov's been underwhelming, which doesn't help Eakin's case. But Eakin's been really, really good, and that entire line in general has been playing pretty well around Eakin for the most part during this losing streak. It's been really just our top six. And our fourth line is one of the best fourth lines in hockey. Belmar's one of the best fourth line centers. Amazing on the penalty kill and very smart, even though if he doesn't have the skill. Reeves, his goals and points totals have gone down throughout the season, but Reeves still brings the body, the physicality. He's an excellent player. It's been that left wing because Carrier's been hurt for a while, and when Carrier's in, that fourth line rolls better than anybody else in the NHL. And when you have Nosek in there, it just seems to throw a wrench, just because Nosek isn't a fourth line guy. He's a third line guy, and he doesn't fit well with Belmar and Reeves. And I just think once Carrier comes in, that fourth line will start to get rolling a little bit, and I think it'll start to help with our top six. So that's the entire forward group. I'm okay with a forward trade if it goes to our second line, or maybe the first line and push Smith down just to get something started. But I really think it comes down to defense, and I really want to get somebody for Shea Theodore.
Yeah, this is like the next big point. So the thing I just said, and then on top of this guy. By the way, I'm sorry, it's from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I don't know if I said that.
They do really good articles, actually.
Yeah, I was really impressed with this one. This guy, he claims, not claims, but he talks about how the defense is just really slow at times. And especially when you're playing a team like Toronto, who's very fast. As he was just saying, he's like, they're a really fast team, and at times the defense is really slow. And he says how, I got to read these names. Hold on, let me read this out. He says, once the Knights return injured defenseman Nick Holden to the lineup, it would be smart to keep John Merrill on the ice. He's at least creating some offense, and sit Derek England. Is that how you say it, England?
Yeah, okay.
And I know you were saying something like when we were saying all these forwards trades going like being talked about, you're like, we need help on defense.
We need help on defense first.
Yeah.
If you can get a right-handed defenseman, because so the thought in hockey is always you want a fast offensive-minded defenseman and a big, slow defensive-minded defenseman. And we have that, so we have the big, strong Brady McNabb with the small and speedy Nate Schmidt. Big, strong Derek England with smaller Shea Theodore. Big, strong Merrill / Holden with Miller. And I just think, especially with the England Shea Theodore, I think Shea Theodore has so much talent on that second pairing. And they originally paired England and Theodore together because England's a really smart guy, even if he doesn't have a lot of skill. And Theodore was a young rookie who didn't know his defense assignments, didn't know where to go on the ice all the time.
Yeah.
But that's changed. In a year, Theodore already knows where he's going. He's a very smart defenseman. He knows where to put the puck. He doesn't need
England with them anymore.
He doesn't need a slow laboring.
And what line is that?
So in hockey, you have for your forward group, you have first line, second line, third line, fourth line.
And defense
is first pairing, second pairing, third pairing.
Okay.
So technically, your first pairing. So our first pairing is Braden McNabb and Nate Schmidt. Those are our best defensemen. Those actually they work really well together. I have no problem with that. Schmidt likes to come up on the rush, and McNabb's really good on 1-on-2 situations, 1-on-3 situations. He's really good by himself. He has a really good long stick. I just think, and Merrill's been playing better. I give a lot of hate. I put a lot of hate on Merrill, but he's really been playing a lot better.
Yeah, Merrill's the guy you hate on.
Colin Miller is a big liability defensively, but he's somebody you really like to have out there on the power play. Him and Shea Theodore on the power play is amazing. Neither of those guys can really play defense, but but they're really good. Shea Theodore can play a little bit of defense. Anyway, they're really good together on the penalty or on the power play. They can really generate a lot of offense. So I think by that standard, you really want Colin Miller on the ice, even if he can't play defense to save his life or stay out of the penalty box. I've been preaching that Dougie Hamilton this entire time, just because I think if you're able to put Dougie Hamilton where England is, it would really start to speed up the defense. Hamilton's a guy who can move. He's a big defenseman who can kind of match with the bit smaller Shea Theodore. And I think it would just push Theodore's progression along a little bit. You're able to scratch England, who's 37 years old. He can't take this wear and tear on his body at this point.
Yeah, where you in the article agree is like just sitting England.
Just sitting England. Yeah.
That's what you've been saying, and like reading it, it's like, yeah, this needs to happen.
Yeah, and so you can only have 3 scratched players at a time, 3 healthy scratches on a team at a time. But after trade deadline, I think you're up to 4 or 5, I want to say. Something around there. So you're able to scratch more guys and keep them on the roster. Why don't you just balance out, because you have way too many forwards and not enough defensemen, why don't you just balance out the defensemen by scratching another defenseman? And, especially with Holden being injured, it's been really tough on our defensive depth. But, if we had Holden and England coming off the bench, both of them, I just think defense is part of the problem. And, everybody's been blaming the forward groups. Their plus-minus isn't great these last few games. I just think they're really tired, and I think they work well together. You just need to stick with it through this tough stretch. But the defense can help generate offense. And I think a guy like Dougie Hamilton can move the puck, unlike England, and he can start to generate some offense. Same with Shea Theodore.
I don't know much about hockey, but they allowed 3 goals in the third period.
Yeah.
And they tied the game 3-3 at the beginning. And then 3 goals.
Especially against a team like Toronto. Who has
the article just named off like a bunch of players.
They're so young and they're so speedy.
And then to top it all off, he was like, and they got, I don't know the guy's name, but they got this guy as goalie. Like, they're just stacked.
Did they have Frederick Anderson playing last night?
Yeah, they did.
I think, yeah. So
they seem like this Toronto's just a stacked team.
Yeah.
And he also
forward wise, they still need a lot of help on defense. Well, they also don't have a backup goalie.
On top of that, they were just kind of saying how you also can't just commit 6 penalties or be in the box that much against a team like Toronto and expect to win.
Yeah, there's some soft ones, but a lot of them comes back to the defense is forced to, because they can't stay up with these guys because they're tired. There's no speed being generated on defense, and there's no excitement being built. I think you build excitement if you have just both, and you start to wear out teams too if you have both Hamilton and Theodore crashing up and just absolutely barraging the goaltenders with shots from the point. And neither of those guys are necessarily a liability on defense. I just think it's a really good move for the team. I know his cap hit, whatever. I just think you're able to move some.
We got breaking news on the podcast, bro.
Whoa, what's going on?
Oilers, Flyers trade goalies. Edmonton trades Cam Talbot for Anthony Stolarz.
What?
Thank God we got rid of Stolarz. Flyers do not need that liability no more.
Wait a minute.
Is that good for the Flyers?
Okay.
Is Talbot any good?
Talbot had maybe 1 or 2 good seasons.
Okay.
Like, he was Vezina level talent, but these last 2 years, he's been really bad. He's on his last year of a big contract.
All right.
He's not going to be paid the same amount of money next year.
So it's kind of no risk for the Flyers, I guess.
I guess because you're moving out a goaltender, but you take on a lot more salary. I know Stolarz has been bad, but is he going to start behind Hart?
Probably, I'm guessing, because Hart seems like the guy right now. But does this show anything about like making a push? Does it show that they're all in, or?
I guess because they want to improve their goaltending, but did they give up any picks?
ESPN just gave me this, just those 2 players.
I know.
It says they just exchanged goalies. I don't think there's any picks involved. I don't know. I'm pulling up the actual news thing right now.
I don't want to trash on the Oilers too much because I know they wanted to get rid of Cam Talbot. But I figure you could get more out of him than the struggling Stolarz.
Yeah, Stolarz has been bad. I've only been following the Flyers
because I know they
want
they got some new Russian goaltender. I don't know why I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but they got a new Russian goaltender, and I know they want a backup for him. I just feel like they could have traded out Talbot for picks.
You're confused, huh?
You trade out Talbot for picks. They don't have a goaltender in Bakersfield. So
if they're gonna get rid of him, they need one back.
So they needed one back.
Man,
why didn't they go like a Brian Elliott route? I don't. Okay, let me pull up Cap Friendly. What's Anthony Stolar's contract? Because I would assume he's on
I assume he's a lot cheaper than
he's a lot
Talbot.
cheaper. I mean, I guess he has a lot more years left to grow. He's only 25 years old. Talbot's 30, 31. So there is an aspect. I do like it for the Flyers. I think Talbot has some things to teach Hart. And I don't think Talbot's staying after this season.
He's not staying long term, no.
No, I don't. He's probably going to be a free agent.
You think that's what they brought him in? They're like, we have a really young goalie. We need to bring in an old, like a.
So
like a
I guess they're going for Stolarz for the possible ceiling. I mean, Stolarz is a big goaltender, 6'6". Interesting. I don't necessarily. Yeah, it looks like it was just a 1-for-1 trade. I don't necessarily hate it for either side. I get why they're doing it for both sides. I just feel like because they want a top 6 winger. The Oilers do. I just thought they would get picks for Talbot and then, or maybe a player and then flip that player for a top 6 forward. But I guess they wanted because
they wanted a Stolarz.
They wanted a backup goaltender, which they had one in Brossoit, who's now playing amazing for Winnipeg. But they got rid of him, so now they need a new one.
Edmonton just seems like the Browns, not the Browns in 2019,
weird trades.
but just like the Browns like of old.
They just make weird trades, and part of that, I think it's just ownership because a lot of people. Josh on Peter Chiarelli, for all these bad trades, trading Taylor Hall for Adam Larson, one of the worst trades in NHL history. They give a lot of flack to Josh Chiarelli, but I think you're going to see them start to make a lot of more questionable moves, and I think it's going to start to come out that this wasn't just Chiarelli. So this is just a bad organization for making trades.
McDavid, get the heck out of there.
This was Keith Gretzky's move, by the way. His first move as Oilers, and he technically is interim GM, but that's the uncle, I believe, or the brother, either uncle or brother to Wayne Gretzky. So.
All right, well, that's cool. Cool way to end off the show. A little breaking news.
We don't have that much on the podcast, honestly. It is 10:29 Utah time.
Nice.
This is people on the East Coast are gonna wake up to this unless you're awake on a Friday night, which you should be.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So, like I said, that's the end of it. That was fun.
That was fun.
More hockey's coming soon.
We didn't say already, but happy Valentine's Day.
That already happened. Yeah.
That already happened yesterday, and this is coming out on Saturday. So happy Saturday. Go out and party today.
Have a good weekend.
Go
it's
crazy.
It's a 3-day weekend.
And if the cops ask you why you're going crazy, tell them Tyler said you can.
That's not going to fly.
That is going to fly.
Tell them that you're so glad that Stolarz is off the Flyers. I hate that, man.
You don't know anything about that.
That dude was losing a lot. I know that much.
Yeah.
It was like whenever Hart wasn't playing and it was him, the Flyers was an automatic loss.
I kind of figured Talbot was going to be a Flyer, but not for this cheap. So
good for the Flyers.
Yeah. I mean, they got the cap space to take on Cam Talbot.
Now get something for Simmons? Question mark.
I don't know. Do you think you make a playoff move?
I really hope so. That'd be exciting. I know Philly wants it.
Yeah, but if they give up Ben Simmons,
I wonder. Like,
I'm all over the place.
I know we're about to end it, but I don't know the last time where like all three major Philadelphia teams made the playoffs. Well, I mean, we will have to see what happens with the Phillies this year. But
if Phillies get anyone of Harper or Machado, or they got Real Muto.
Yeah, and they're also. I think they have a good chance of getting either one of Machado and Harper. So who knows?
We'll see.
Good time to be a Philly sports fan. Hop on that bandwagon right now. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, you're way on that bandwagon. You weren't even a.
I've been an Eagles fan for life.
Oh,
dude.
okay, yeah, no.
The other teams are just. I'm just adopting the other teams.
Never a 76ers or a Phillies or any of that in there.
Allen Iverson's ironically my favorite player, and it has nothing to do with 76ers. It's just Allen Iverson's happens to be my favorite player.
You still own a Porzingis jersey. What is this sweatshirt? Look at this sweatshirt.
I'm a Knicks fan. You're right. You're right.
Whatever.
Have a good weekend.
I'm really tired. I'm
see you
go to
Tuesday.
bed.
Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday now.
And a YouTube video. Subscribe. Please.
Yeah. We'll be doing more on the YouTube. Okay. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.